Hey, hello guys. So in this video, we are going to discuss about this problem, which is multi-threaded parenthesis validator. There's a very common lead code problem which you guys must have already seen. Let's go through the problem once. So basically, we are given a string where we are given the left parenthesis and the right parenthesis, and we need to find out whether that given string is forming a valid parenthesis or not. And there are some rules to make sure that, I mean, like how to check whether they are valid or not, making sure that every left one has a matching right parenthesis to it, and every prefix of the string should have more open parenthesis comparative to the closing parenthesis. So this is the function which is given to us, which is valid parallel. Now we need to determine whether the given string is a valid or not. Now this, what is this p? So here we are given an extra parameter which is p, which is like saying that hey, you need to find out whether this given parenthesis is a, sorry, whether this is a given string is a valid parenthesis or not, using the p number of threads. Okay, now what could be the solutions to kind of solve this? So one of the basic solution is definitely to like we normally do in the lead code. We just start traversing the string from 0 to the size of the string and keep counting, keep checking the counter of the open parenthesis and right and closing parenthesis, increasing whenever we are seeing the open one, and decreasing whenever we are seeing the closing one. That's how we are detecting it. But this is going to kind of a simple approach, and we are using a single main thread approach here. We are not using the number of extra parameter which is given to us in this question, where it is asking us that hey, solve this problem by using a p number of threads. So how you can make this solution for a multi-threading, to a multi-threading solution? Now other way to solve this is, the what could be the next way, that hey, what if we have more than one thread and we are dividing each substring of the given string and assigning it to a particular thread, like for example, like how we are doing in this example. So first we have kind of declared a thread pool by using the executor service, which gives you a specific p number of the threads. The next is segment size. What is segment size? Segment size is equivalent to the how much substring length uh, thread is going to handle or going to process to find out whether the entire that specific piece is a valid parenthesis or not. And the next one is the future, which we are having basically, where we are going to store the results of all the thread. Now here in this function, if you see, we are just dividing the string into multiple substrings and submitting it for the processing to the executor, to the thread pool, and now all the threads will start executing these will start checking out whether the given substring or the string to them is a valid or not. At the end, we are collecting the results for all of them and merging it out. Now what will happen in this case? This is not going to work. Now why this will not work? In the future we are only storing boolean. So what we are trying to say is, if we go here, if we see, we have something like, let's say this, and let's say this, this, and this. Now what if we divide the substring this way, this thing and this thing? So definitely it will return false for both of them because it's not matching, but actually it's a valid substring. How? So if we see, this one is closed by this one is closed by this one, or you can say this one is closed by this one, and that one. Basically you can say one more is there, but still the thread, let's say one thread is assigned to this one, which is t1, one thread is assigned to this two, which is t2. They both will return false, but actually this is a valid parenthesis. Now why? Because we are calculating the validity of the given substring at those specific level, which is not the proper way. Basically this is relational to the result of the previous substring and the next substring also, to say whether the entire given string is a valid parenthesis or not. So how could we fix it? So the simple fix for this would be, instead of just storing, we should not be calculating the final results at each processor level, sorry, at each thread level. Instead of that, we should just count the open or closed and store that result into this future. So when we get this here, when we try to merge the results, we need to process the output of all the threads instead of considering it the final result and taking the decision on based on that. So that is what we are doing in our next approach. If you see, everything is the same, but if you see the declaration of this future, you can see it's not a boolean now, it's a segment result. And what is segment result here? It's the minimum balance and the net balance, basically. That is what we are storing here. Okay, so this executor dot service, or whatever you call it, this process segment will return the number of the net balance, the net balance value of that particular given substring, and the minimum, as we have mentioned here, the minimum balance which we have seen during that substring. The all the threads kind of process the same, these two things for every substring whatever is assigned to them, and at the end we calculate the final results for each for the total final substring, like whether it is correct or not. So this is how it's going to work. Now what is the next one? I mean, can we improve this further? This is what we are going to see now. Now this information about, like, hey, how can we improve this more, how the p is actually impacting the uh, processing time and all those things, since we are already able to uh, create so many threads. I mean, the thing is, if the p is too large, then it would create the problem for your machine also. Like, so what could be the, how we can improve this solution more so this is not impacting the thread pool, or this is not impacting the machine, in case if the requirement, if the number of argument which is coming in b is very high. So that solution we are going to cover in our course, so let's check it out there.